What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's going on? It's your guy Joe Martin, your favorite big brother. Just wanted to jump on here today, this evening, and we're gonna talk today. So today I wanted to just come on here and talk about positioning, right? Because positioning is very important. So as you guys know, I teach credit. Okay, I teach people the scoring and the algorithm of what's actually creating the credit score. You know, uh, lately what we've been doing is we've been talking about AI technology because I have a software company as well where we help businesses scale and grow and things like that. So today I wanted to jump on here and just want to kind of go back and look at some things, and we want to talk about positioning. Okay. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Let me go over here first and make sure that this broadcast is shared to social media platforms. So let me make sure we good on that, because I want to make sure that we're showing where we need to be showing that. Okay, this is gonna be a powerful video today. So what I want y'all to do is go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that button, because I'm about to go over some real good information. I'm about to talk about positioning. I'm gonna talk about how a person could go access anywhere from 10,000 to 150,000 in 7 to 14 days. That's very powerful. It's some real good information. So y'all make sure y'all get y'all a pen and a pad, and make sure you share this information, because a lot of people could use this information. A lot of people don't know this information. So I want to make sure I deliver the way that I need to deliver. Okay. So what I'm doing right now, like I said, Kira, cut that TV down some, baby. What I'm doing right now is over there on that stand. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to share this screen, and then I need to find my live chat. Okay, let me find my live chat so I can make sure. Yes, that's good, baby. Let me find my live chat so that I can make sure that I can communicate back and forth with you guys as we talk about this information. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna shift this screen over, and what I'm gonna do is we're gonna play back one of my older videos that I posted. Okay, we're gonna play back that video, and I'll answer any questions that you may have while that video is playing. So make sure you comment anything that you may want to ask, right? Make sure you comment and we'll get that answered. Okay, so now let's switch it on over to this screen here. There we go. All right, now we on my big brother. So y'all, if y'all subscribers already, I'm pretty sure y'all been here before, but for the new people, this is Big Brother podcast. This is the Big Brother show, and what we talk about is we talk about credit, we talk about AI technology, we talk about business, and we talk about marketing. Okay, we talk about all these essential things that you need to continue to grow. It's always about continuously inclining, right? It ain't about trying to get there fast, right? As long as you are inclining gradually and continuing to move up, that's what it's about, right? So everything that I talk about on this channel is all strictly about growth. Now I want to talk about context, get into more context of this image that you're seeing. Okay, now personal credit. When you understand the system, the formula, and the algorithm of what's actually creating that score, most of the times people see a credit score. That's all they see, right? And a lot of times when they score is under 600, they be, it's a challenge to them, and it could have them feeling some type of way, right? But when you understand the algorithm, the formula, and the system of what's actually creating the credit score, then you know how to move certain pieces so you can make it do what you need it to do. All right. So what I always tell people is optimize the personal credit profile first, because when you start rolling into the business side, most of the times these banks, they're going to ask you if you could be a personal guarantor. And basically what a personal guarantor is you saying, hey, I don't mind you running my credit to see how I've been handling my relationships, so you could determine if I could establish a relationship with you. All right. So this is why it's important for you to optimize your personal credit file first. And then once you optimize your personal credit profile or do it simultaneously, you want to make sure you build your business credit profile on a fundable foundation, meaning that you crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's when you were structuring that business, right? You want to make sure that you look at all of the industries, right? Because you got high risk industries, you got industries that's going to give you an automatic decline when you go apply for funding with certain banks and financial institutions if you fall under that industry. And that industry is going to be coded by your NAICS code, okay? So there are certain codes that banks love to see, you know. So when I teach my members and I teach my students or people that come lock in with Martin University, what I teach them is make sure you structure it under the right industry so that you don't run into that wall when it comes time for you to go get funded on that business. All right. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about personal credit, because remember I told you I wanted to jump on this video today and we want to talk about positioning. All right. Because once you in position, right, once you set yourself up and you understand how to move, then moving forward in life and in business, you got that. See, because one thing that people can't do is they can't take what you know. So when you learn something, keep it. You know, they can't take it from you, but definitely share it with people that lock arms with you, because two is always better than one. So if you're a husband, teach your wife, share it with your wife. You know, if you're a parent, share it with your kids. You know, if you got business partners, share it with your business partners, because at the end of the day, if it's a group of y'all all powered up, then y'all could do a lot more things. Okay, so we want to make sure we focus on personal credit. All right, now it's 5 factors combined that's creating a personal credit score. So anytime I'm dealing with somebody or I'm talking to somebody and their score is under a 600, the first thing that I always look at is utilization, because most of the times if your credit score is under a 600, you don't have an active revolving account, or if you do have an active revolving account, it's overutilized. Okay, utilization make up 30% of your score. So in that 30%, you're getting 165 points. Now, to get the bulk of that 165 points coming from utilization, you need to keep your utilization between 1 and 6%. All right. Now, people always say, Joe, what you mean I can't use this credit card? That's not what I mean. You could use that credit card, but when that statement close, right, on that close date, you need to make sure that you pay it back down to 1 to 6%. So it's 3 days that you want to make sure you look at on all of your revolving accounts, right? So you want to make sure you look at your statement day, the close date. You want to look at the due date, and you want to look at the date that they report to the credit reporting agencies. The reason why you need those dates is because on the statement close date, go ahead and pay whatever you got used on that card. Go ahead and pay it down between 1 and 6%. Okay. The due date. Okay, we know what the due date is. Then the date that they furnish the information. The reason why that date is important is because you want to make sure you don't use that card before they furnish the information. Because if you use that card before they furnish the information, then it's a possibility that whatever you just paid it down and then you reused it, so your utilization is not going to set where you want it to set at. Okay, so now if the due date, let's just say for instance, if the close date is on the 13th, so that means on the 13th, go ahead and pay that card down to 1 to 6%. Okay, and then let's just say for instance on the 16th is when they furnish the information, so that means don't use that card until the 17th. So now you got from the 17th all the way up to the 13th to use that card. Okay, and do that for every credit card that you have. Okay, make sure you do that for every credit card. Find out those dates so that you could know how to move that credit. You know, I tell people all the time, like, say for instance, if one of my cards, say for instance, if it was due on the 25th and today is the 24th and I need to make a large purchase, right? So I got a card due on the 25th and I got a card due on the let's just say I got a card due on the 25th and I got a card due on the 15th, right? And it's the 24th. I'm not going to use the card that's due on the 25th because it's finna report, right? So I don't want to use that card because it's going to raise my utilization, which is going to hit into my 30%, you know? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the card that's due on the 15th because now I got from the 24th all the way till the 15th to pay that card back or pay that balance back down to 1 to 6%. So you have to know how to use those credit cards. All right. Now, payment history makes up 35% of your score. So in that 35%, you're getting 192.5 points. Okay. You're getting 192.5 points. So whenever you got collection accounts, charge-offs, late payments, anything deemed as derogatory, right, it's pulling away from that 192.5. So as we work together and we start getting those things off the file, then we start getting our points back in that 192.5. Okay. Now, age makes up 15% of your score. So in that 15%, and I got a diagram. Let me just show y'all this diagram. Let me pull it up. I'm gonna just shoot down here because it's a lot. It's easier to see it, right? It's easier to see it. So let's go pull it up. All right, here we go. Cool. So, and I want to blow it up. Let me blow this up a little bit. I want to see if I could blow this up. How can I blow it up? Maybe if I do it like this. There we go. Now I need to move this over. Let me just move this over a little bit. Okay. That's cool. All right, cool. Okay, so payment history makes up 35% of your score. So in that 35%, you're getting 192.5 points. Okay. Utilization makes up 30% of your score. So in that 30%, you're getting 165 points. Now, to get the bulk of this 165 points, you want to make sure you keep your utilization between 1 and 6%. Okay. Now, age makes up 15% of your score. So in that 15%, you're getting 82.5 points. Now, to get the bulk of this 82.5 points, your age average need to be between 10 and 12 years. Now, age could be fabricated, and let me explain to you how age could be fabricated. Okay, so let's look down here, right? And excuse this, I think I had something typoed on here, but let's just say this guy named Tim got 5 accounts, and all 5 of these accounts was open 5 years ago. So we're going to combine the years. So if we got 5 accounts all open 5 years ago combined, we got 25 years. So we're going to take that 25 years and divide it by how many accounts Tim got. So Tim got 5 accounts. So 25 divided by 5, Tim's average age is 5 years old. So based on the fact that he got an average of 5 years age, he's getting some of this 82.5 points that's coming from the 15% age. Now, let's just say, for instance, if Tim called his grandma and he said, "Hey, grandma, how many credit cards you got?" And grandma say, "Well, Tim, I got 1 credit card that's 35 years old." And Tim say, "Well, grandma, can you add me on that card as an authorized user?" So what an authorized user is, if your grandma adds you on her card, all of the data from that card is going to track over on your credit profile. Okay. So now, instead of Tim having 5 accounts, now he got 6 accounts. All right. Instead of Tim having 25 years combined, grandma just added 35 to his 25. So now he got 60 years combined. Okay, so here go the typo, y'all. So instead of us doing 25 divided by 5, which gave Tim an average of 5 years, now we're going to do 60 divided by 6, which is going to give Tim an average of 10 years. All right, so remember, age make up 15% of your score. So in that 15%, you're getting 82.5 points. So soon as grandma added him on there and the card actually reported, the data reported to his file, now his age just went from an average of 5 years to an average of 10 years. So instantly he got the bulk of this 82.5 points added to his profile. All right. Now, next we got mixture. So it's a 4-piece mix, right, that FICO is looking for. They're looking for a revolving account, which is a credit card. They're looking for auto installment, which is an auto loan. They looking for a personal installment, which is a personal loan, and they looking for a mortgage. And it's okay if you don't have all four of these, you know, because that's why you're gonna be working. Because I know some people, they working to get a mortgage, or some people working to get better interest rates on their vehicle. You know, some people working to get better banking products and things like that. So this is why it's good to be positioning yourself now. Okay, now one more thing that I gotta touch on before we move past this mixture, right? Because I get a lot of people that pay off their cars and they be like, Joe, I paid off my car and my score dropped, right? Cause right, you paying off a car is almost like a good thing, right? But what happens is when you pay that auto installment off, it closed a piece of your mixture. So when you paid that auto installment off, it closed a piece of your mixture, so you lost a little bit of that 55 points that you're getting from mixture, because one of the factors in mixture is closed now. Okay, now next we got inquiries, which is new credit. Okay, inquiries make up 10% of your score as well, so you're getting 55 points there. So it don't matter if you had 150 inquiries or if you only had 50 inquiries or 10 inquiries. The most that inquiries could impact your file or affect your file is only 55 points. If you didn't have no inquiries at all, 9 times out of 10 you'll probably be getting that whole 55 points. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to walk you through how we take a person's credit from a 0 to a hero. All right, now follow me on this, because I'm finna break this formula down to you. I'm finna break this algorithm down to you, so now you will no longer just see a credit score. Now you're gonna actually see the mechanisms and the moving pieces of what's actually creating the credit, right? Because it's all science. You know, a lot of people think FICO is a credit company, right? That's just one of their products. You know, FICO is an analytic company, right? They want to find out, like, if this person did this or if this happens, what would be the outcome of that, right? FICO, the scoring, the credit scoring is just one of their products. You know, in 2018, we was at a FICO World Convention in Miami. And that's when I learned that FICO's biggest customer is the NFL. Because at the end of the day, they need to project how many people are going to show up to the NFL Super Bowl. Okay, so don't just get stuck on thinking that FICO is just all about credit. That's just one of their products. You know, it's an analytic company. Now, when a person don't have any data, right? Let's just say, for instance, you don't have no data. The most crucial time on the credit profile is the last 24 months. That's the most crucial time. So if you don't have any data, right? If you don't have any data that's been reporting in the last 24 months, then 9 times out of 10, you don't have a credit score. Okay, so let's just say this person hadn't used their credit in 24 months, right? They haven't used their credit, so they don't have a score. If you ever notice, sometimes when you don't have enough data and you go try to pull your credit, it says NA. That's because it's not enough data to calculate a score. So we just went through all of these data points, right? And if you don't have anything reporting to the credit profile, then you don't have any data points, and that's why you don't have a score. All right, now let's take this person right here. Let's just say, for instance, this person don't have a score, so they're at a 0. So now we got to walk them to a hero. All right, now first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put them on a secured credit card. All right, now I got a blueprint that's gonna walk you step by step through how to get this done. Okay, so we're gonna add them on the blueprint. So now they go from a 0, now we at 300. So y'all follow me right here. I'm in this little section right here now. Okay, so y'all follow me. So now we were at a 0, we at a 300. Coach, put me in the game. All right, so now he in the game now. Okay, payment history make up 35% of the score. So in that 35%, you're getting 192.5 points. All right, so he don't have anything negative on this file at all. No collections, no charge-offs, no late payments, nothing derogatory. So he's getting this whole 192.5. So now we're going to go from 300. We're going to add the 192.5. That's going to put him at a 492.5. Okay, now utilization make up 30% of the score. So in that 30%, you're getting 165 points. Now remember to keep your utilization between 1 and 6% to get the bulk of this 165 points. All right. So he understood that. So he keeping it between 1 and 6%. So now from 492.5, we're going to go ahead and add the 165 because he's getting the bulk of this 30%. So now he goes from a 492.5 add the 165. Now he at a 657.5. Hey, life's starting to change now. You know, he's starting to see a little light because he didn't have nothing at first. So now he's starting to see some light. Okay. So now from 657.5, he went ahead and called his grandmother and he said, hey, grandma, how many credit cards you got? And grandma say, well, I got one credit card that's 35 years old. So grandma added him on as an authorized user. Okay. So now he's getting the bulk of this 82.5 points coming from age. So from 657.5, we're going to drop down to 82.5. Add that. Now he's sitting at a 740. Okay. Now listen, y'all. Everybody's dream is to hit the 700 club, right? So I just sat here and told you exactly how to get to the 700 club, right? So now he's at the 740. He's sitting at a 740. Now his goal was to get a home and a vehicle. So I'm going to tell y'all this, right? Like I tell all my members, right? Get the house before you get the car. 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 And the reason why you want to do that is because if you get the car first, it's going to increase your DTI, which is your debt to income ratio. So when you go into that mortgage company to get the mortgage, they're going to approve you for less of a house because now you have this huge auto debt on your credit profile. So get the house before you get the car. All right. So you don't increase your DTI, which is your debt to income ratio. Now, once you get the house, now what we going to do? Go ahead, get the car. All right. So now you listen, he got two of the mixes. Well, he already got three because he already had a credit card. Right. Now he got the mortgage. Now he got the auto installment. Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all what my grandfather told me. You know, he told me, he said, Joe, when you get that house, don't go crazy and try to furnish that whole house at one time. He said, do one room at a time. You know, a lot of people drop the ball right there. They'll go get all this credit, furniture credit, right? And the thing about furniture stores, I got to tell y'all this. Furniture stores, when they give you a line of credit, so if they gave you a $5,000 line of credit, and let's just say, for instance, you went in there and you used the whole $5,000. Now on your credit report, it's going to show your utilization high because they gave it to you as a revolving account. Okay? So when you go to these furniture stores and they give you a $5,000 line of credit, be mindful, because if you use that whole $5,000, guess what you're about to do? You're about to knock your utilization. You're about to your credit profile is no longer going to be optimized. Okay, so don't go crazy and just do one room at a time, y'all. Okay, do one room at a time. So now, what he did, he got the mortgage, then he got the car, he already had the credit cards. And then what he did was he went and took out a personal installment to furnish that one room. All right. So now once he furnished that one room, now he got all four pieces of the mix. So now from 740, we're going to drop down to the 55, which is mixture. Now we're going to add that. That's going to take him to a 795. OK. Now, remember, inquiries make up 10% of your score. So in that 10%, you're getting 55 points. Now, if you have an inquiry that's attached to an active revolving account, leave it alone. Don't touch it. Don't try to challenge it because there's a chance that you could jeopardize or forfeit that account. So if you got a $25,000 credit card and you go try to get that inquiry removed, there's a chance that they could close that card because you tampering with that inquiry. All right. So don't mess with no inquiries that's on active revolving accounts. Don't mess with it. Just ride out the 24 months. Inquiries could stay on your file for up to 24 months. So if you got an inquiry on there and you got a 25,000 or even a 10,000 or whatever kind of credit card, right? Don't mess with that inquiry. Just ride out the 24 months. Now, there's a way you could get those inquiries off, right? But you have to, you got to be you got to move strategically when you do that, right? But you have to move fast around the time that you got that account open. Okay, so, and we'll talk more about that when we speak. All right. So now he got all inquiries. He waited 24 months. All the inquiries fell off, or he was able to finagle them off his file. So he did that. And now let's add the 55 points from inquiries. So 795, 55, 850. All right. So that's how you walk a person from a 0 to a hero on a credit. Okay. Like, listen, y'all, I had to talk about that first, because now what I want to do is, let's see, I'm gonna come here, and then what I want to do is go back up there, and I don't even know who's on here because I can't even find my chat. Right, I can't even find my chat. But this is what I wanted to bring up. Let's bring this back up. Let's blow it back up real quick. Okay, I think we good. Yep, we all right. We decent. So you want to make sure you optimize your personal file first, and we just talked about that, right? So optimize that file first. Next, or do it simultaneously. Go ahead and structure your business, whether you do an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, whatever you choose. That's all going to boil down to text, and you might want to talk to a tax professional so that they could teach you more about tax laws and how things work like that. But a LLC is the cheapest thing that you could get. It only costs you, in here in Atlanta, it only costs you about $100 to get it established, and it's just $50 a year annual registration. Now, I should have put address first on here, right? Because it's important that you make sure that the addresses match across the board. Wherever you put that paperwork at, wherever you file that business or apply for something online with that business, make sure you have the same address everywhere. See, because it's a red flag. Even when you talk about personal credit, right? It's a red flag because, say for instance, if I'm an underwriter and I'm looking at somebody that's asking me for $50,000, right? And I'm looking at their credit file and I see multiple addresses, right? I might say this person is not stable, you know? So if I'm looking at all these addresses on this file, this person may not seem like a stable person, right? So I might be lenient on giving them whatever they asking for, you know? So, you know, if you on your credit profile, go knock off all them old addresses, get rid of them, get them out of there. So on your business though, make sure you get that business address, and never use a PO box. A PO box is a red flag. You will get denied once they see that it's a PO box. All right. So make sure that you get a virtual address, and if you need information on that, just let me know. I'll send you a really good place you can go get your virtual address for your business. Just message me and I'll get that to you. So get you a virtual address, right? And if you can't afford a virtual address, go ahead and use your residential, but never use a PO box. All right. Now get the addresses first. Now, once you get the addresses, go ahead and get your business phone number and get your business email. You know, I hear a lot of people, they say the emails don't matter, but I've talked to a lot of underwriters and they tell me, like, sometimes if they see a unprofessional email, and let me explain to you what an unprofessional email. Let's just say, for instance, your company is called GreenCap. All right. Let's just say your company called GreenCap. Your email don't need to be greencap@gmail or greencap@yahoo. You know, greencap@hotmail. No, your email should be business@greencap.com, info@greencap.com, joe@greencap.com. You know, something professional, right? Now, you might get some of these coaches out here that might tell you it don't matter, but just do it the right way. So you don't even have to worry about it. Who cares if it matter or not? Just do it the right way. And if you're establishing your business, just set your business up the right way and get you a business professional email. Don't even worry about it. Okay. I would much rather you be ahead of that than be behind that. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you have that situated. So if you ever do just go apply for something, you don't run into no situation where you like, damn, they denied me. Right. So don't trip. Get it. Just do it the right way. All right. Now, website. Make sure you got an online presence. So make sure your business is established, is online. Make sure a person be able to find it, because if an underwriter go in and they looking at your business and they trying to see what you got going on, they gonna want to see something. You know, I can't just say, hey man, I own Joe Martin and Associates, and when they go and look at it or they trying to find it, they not able to find it because I don't have no online presence, right? Make sure you got an online presence, all right? Now, your NAICS code. This is the industry that your business is. So make sure that you always look up those business industries, because you don't want to go in there and pick an industry that's a automatic decline, or because if you're in a bad industry, right? Let me pull this up. So if you're in a bad industry and the banks see what industry based on your NAICS code, they might deny you if it's one of them high risk industries. So do your due diligence on that. Any member that come through my program, we go through that. I show them, they got a whole list of the industries. I break all of that down, and on our business credit program, we have the largest vendor list that's out there. Like, we got over 100 vendors that's on our list that you could attach to your business, and you want to make it make sense. By the time you get through tier 4, I want you to have at least 13 or 14 vendor accounts on your credit profile. You just want it to make sense. Now, after you establish that, the next thing you're going to do is go ahead and get your EIN number, right? And the important thing was that you made sure you got that address first, because when you go to the Secretary of State, you're going to need an address. When you go to the EIN, which is the IRS, you're going to need an address. When you go to DMB, which is Dun & Bradstreet, you're going to need an address. So make sure all of these addresses matching everywhere. And when you start getting these vendor accounts, you're going to need the same address, because it matters, man. It matters, okay? So once you got your EIN number, the next thing you're going to do is go get your Dun & Bradstreet number, all right? Because this is what you're going to attach your vendor accounts to. They're going to attach to your Dun & Bradstreet. Now, once you attach that, once you got that, go ahead and open you up a bank account. Now, I tell people to open up 5 bank accounts, and I'm going to tell you why. All right, I tell people to open up 5 bank accounts. Now, you could do this all at the same time. You don't have to wait. I just put the diagram like this. But when you get to this step, you can really go ahead and open up all these bank accounts now. Okay, but let's just run through this diagram, right? So open up the bank account. Like most people like Navy, NASA, and Truist. I like them. Navy, like I said earlier, I think they business credit card reports to the personal file, and you don't really want that, because if you use that card, the utilization is going to calculate on your personal file, which is going to knock your file from being optimized. Okay, so now we got tier 1, Uline, Grainger, Quill. That's what most people usually start with. But like I said, we got a whole bunch of vendors, right? We got a whole bunch of vendors, but you'll be able to look through the list and find out which ones fit and which ones may be suitable for your business. Okay, now you're gonna go to tier 2. Now, I usually take on tier 1, and usually take 60 to 90 days for it to report on the credit profile. But after it reports and you got those 3 accounts showing, now you're gonna move to tier 2. Okay, then you're gonna go ahead and add some tier 2 accounts. All right, once they report, now you got 6 accounts showing. Now you're gonna move to tier 3, and you're gonna add 3 more accounts to the business. Okay, then when you get to tier 4, you're gonna go ahead and add 3 to 4 more. Now, by the time you finish with tier 4, you should have about 13 to 14 vendor accounts on your business. Now, at that moment, right, or before, go ahead and get you a vehicle and a business name. Now, look at my boy, right? My boy, he was sad. He got to walking, then he got to running. And once he got through tier 4, he hopped in him a little whip, got him a little car on the business. Now he driving. So he went ahead and opened up 4 more bank accounts. Now, let me show y'all where the magic at, right? So you already optimized your personal file to look a certain way. Okay, you got that optimized. You built out the business on the fundable foundation, meaning that you structured everything the right way. All right, now you went and opened up that bank account, or those 5 bank accounts. Now what you're gonna do, you a member, so go ahead and make deposits. Move your money through those accounts. Make a deposit here, make a deposit here, make a deposit here. You're gonna do that 90 to 120 days. Now what that is doing is solidifying you as a solid member. All right, so now that you a solid member, say for instance, if you went in there one day and you say, hey, yeah, I'm interested in the business banking product, and they say, yeah, well, we have a great business credit card, whoop the woo, or this or that, we got a line of credit, this, now say for instance, if you went in all 5 of those banks and they gave you 25,000 in each bank, now you just went and got access to 125,000 in 7 to 14 days. Okay? So when I say 7 to 14 days, I'm not talking about everybody just not going to be in a position to go crazy and go do it now. You know, sometimes you just going to have to, you got to position yourself first. And then once you got yourself positioned, then go ahead and put it all together, right? Because what you're doing is when you positioning yourself, what you're doing is you're cutting on a faucet. Now every 3 to 6 months, you could go get more funding on that business. Okay, you can go get more funding on that business. So you know, just y'all listen. It's not rocket science. You know, it's not rocket science. You can do this, right? And if you need help doing it, all you got to do is reach out to me, tap in with me, and let's get it done. You know, we could get it done, and we could work together to do it. You know, I look at my situation, right? I did all of this. You know, in 2004, I started my first business in 2004. Okay, I was 24 years old at the time when I started this business. That was the year I got married. That was the year that my daughter was born. And I didn't know that my daughter, you know, I didn't know that she was going to leave us due to kidney failure. My daughter passed away in 2004 from kidney failure. You know, fast forward 2 years later, my little man was murdered at the age of 4 by a 30-year-old man. You know, so, you know, you're talking about a 24-year-old man who got this vision to go change the world and go do all these great things. And then right in the process of creating this thing, all of this tragedy hit. You know, my father was one of the only people who really understood what we was going through, because we took that hit together as a family. You know, everybody did, right, when we took those losses. And my father was already dealing with underlying health issues and things like that, so he just lost both of his grandkids back to back. And in 2007, my father passed away. You know, it was a lot. You know, so you're talking about a young man, 24 years old, that took these 3 hits back to back to back, you know, from 24 to 26. And I had to push through it. You know, so when we talk about like this Big Brother show or this Big Brother podcast that I'm about to launch, I'm just being full transparent, you know, because I've learned in life that you get from the world what you give to the world, you know. So if I wake up every morning and go pour positive energy into the world, it have no choice but to come back to me, you know. So every day, my main goal and my main objective is to go out into the world, pass out some positive energy, see who I can help, share information with people, build and connect with them, you know. And I just want to encourage parents, man, that lost kids and things like that. You got to keep going. You know, I tell people all the time, right, when I was standing in front of that dark tunnel, and I'm talking about the tunnel of depression after taking these losses, you know, from the outside, you hear all the screams and you hear the pain and the hurt and all of that. The reality that you looking at, that you facing, you hear all of that before you step in that tunnel. And you know, a lot of people, they don't make it. They don't even take a step in, right? Because it's just too much for them to even process and bear, and they end up doing something to themselves, right? So I said, you know what? I made it. So let me share my story with people and let them know that it is light at the end of that tunnel. You know, the pain never goes away. Time helps. You know, time do help. And then I had new kids. So, you know, I had more kids, and they can never replace the holes in my heart, but what they did was they filled them. you know, and it gave me new purpose and new meaning for life, you know, so I just had to keep going. And I understood that me helping other people, me helping people get through, or me helping people position themselves just in life in general, that helps me. So regardless of what I'm going through, I tell people all the time, man, I walk through fire for people. You know, some days I wake up and it's not there. You know what I'm saying? Some days I wake up and the energy is not there, the morale is not there, you know, but not one day have I ever, even when I woke up feeling like that, not one day have I ever woke up and said, I'm not going to go out here and do this. You know, I'm not going to continue to do this. So I'm telling y'all, for 19 years, right? Because I just hit my 19-year anniversary and on business in April, you know. So for 19 years, I have been consistently pouring into the world, you know, giving the people a piece of me, just sharing and trying to encourage people to just keep going and keep building and keep doing it. You know, if it means something to you, you got to give yourself every opportunity to make it happen. You know, you got to give yourself every shot to make it happen. And I knew what I wanted. You know, I knew what I wanted for my life. So therefore I kept pushing despite what I got going on in the world. You know, despite all of that, I kept pushing, you know. So with that being said, man, y'all share this video. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. And I hope that y'all got some good information from this video. One day, my YouTube channel is going to pop and it's going to go crazy, right? And I'm hoping it do soon, you know, because, you know, I appreciate people giving me a platform so I can share my ideology and share my life with, you know. So I appreciate y'all. All right, man. Well, with that being said, it's Wednesday. I had a great day. I think this was a great video. I'm setting up another office, so I got my YouTube, my full YouTube studio is gonna be downstairs in my basement. This office right here, it has been good. You know, I have been able to do some great things in this office right here, but it's time for me to travel down to the basement. So all right, man, y'all be good. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I will holler at y'all later. Peace.